The Torah explains to us in Parashas Terumah that on top of the Aron there was a kapores. The kapores was a cover. This cover was made out of solid gold, and out of the cover itself, chiseled from that same piece of gold, were two kruvim. The kruvim were angel-like figures that were chiseled out, made of gold, and they had wings, and they had a face that appeared to be like the face of a child. And these kruvim were told the wings were spread out on top of the kapores, and pneihem, their face, they faced each other, ish el achiv. Which is interesting to note because later on in Tanakh we find that we're told that the kruvim, when it came to the Beis Hamikdash at certain points, they were pneihem labayis. Their face, they didn't face each other, but they faced forward. The question is, why is it here in our parsha that they were facing each other, but there they were facing forward? And so the Gemara explains and says that when the Jewish people are observing, they're doing the will of Hashem, they're keeping the mitzvos, then the kruvim face each other. But when the Bnei Yisrael and the Jewish people are not observing the mitzvos as they should, they're not doing the will of Hashem, then the kruvim aren't facing each other. So the kruvim are really functioning as a message to us as to whether Hashem is really happy with us or not. So why is it that they have to face each other in order to show that Hashem is happy with us? So an interesting insight about the kruvim is brought down by the Malbim. And he says that the reason why they face each other, if you think about it, is because of the fact that they are on top of the Aron. So it's as if they're resembling to a certain extent what's taking place inside the Aron, what's inside the Holy Ark. And of course we know that the main item that was in the Aron itself were the luchos, were the two tablets that Moshe brought down from Har Sinai. Not only were the second tablets, but even the first tablets that Moshe broke, shivrei luchos, the broken pieces, were also in the Aron. So the Malbim explains that when it comes to those luchos, we know, we've seen diagrams that they're on those luchos contain the Aseres Hadibros, the 10 Commandments that Hashem orally told the Jewish people at Har Sinai. And these 10 Commandments, 5 of which are written on one of the luchos, on one of the tablets, and the other 5 are written on the other tablet. And so the Malbim says, you know why the kruvim are facing each other? To tell us, to remind us, that the luchos, the tablets themselves also, to a certain degree, face each other. How so? Lest we think that one can observe only part of the luchos. The first half, the first 5, are mitzvos that are between man and God. Mitzvos bein Adam lamakom. The other 5 are mitzvos bein Adam l'chavero, mitzvos between man and man. Lest we think that we can observe one of the luchos, one of the tablets, and not the other. In other words, lest we think that we can observe the mitzvos between man and God, and not the mitzvos between man and man. No. They face each other. Lest we think we can observe the mitzvos between man and not the mitzvos between man and God. No, says the Malbim. They face each other. You can't have one of the luchos without the other one, because both the luchos are facing each other, and that is representative of the kruvim that are on top of the kaporos. The message that the kruvim give to us is that we shouldn't forget what's inside, and we shouldn't forget how we are to observe the luchos that are inside the Holy Aron. May we be zochem, may we merit to internalize this lesson of the Malbim and not allow ourselves to make Torah Judaism into a smorgasbord and choose that those mitzvos which we find more convenient, more exciting. Rather, we have fidelity to the law and fidelity to Hashem, and observe all of His mitzvos to the best of our ability. Thank you for listening, and have a good Shabbos.